What's going on, guys? Runner44 back with you again for another late night tutorial for Substance Painter. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at how to take the Substance Painter file and make it a little bit smaller for storage purposes. Now, after you've gotten your model painted and you've gone through your 40 million different revisions of coming back and tweaking little things that you caught at the last second, speaking from experience on that one, you're going to be left with a file here that can be quite large in size. Now, this one here is not too bad. It's one of the smaller files I probably have, 422 megabytes, if I take the time to read it at the bottom. But you can also, depending on the complexity of the project and the resolution of textures you're using, this file can get up to be gigabytes in size and can take up a lot of unnecessary space. So once you're ready to store this file and you're not really tweaking on it anymore, you can come into here, load it up in the Substance Painter. But we're going to go over here to the texture set settings. You'll see that I have the texture size set to 4096. We're going to go ahead and, before we change this, go down here to the bottom where your mesh maps are located. And you have world space, ambient occlusion, curvature, position, thickness. Those are the ones I use. I don't use a normal map or ID map. But if you have any of these generated, go ahead and just click the X on every single one of them until you have no more mesh maps baked. And that's going to delete all those mesh maps. Go back up here to the top where the size is. Set that to 128, which is the lowest size you can go to. And then come over here to the File tab. Hit the Clean button. And then just click OK. That's going to purge out all of those baked mesh maps and any other related materials. So once that's all purged out, come up here to the top and File once again. Hit Save and Compact, and just wait until your project saves. Great, project saved. Now we can go bring our window back over here and we'll see that we went from 422 megabytes to 96.4 megabytes, which that is a huge decrease. However, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, now we can't do any more in Substance Painter, at least to my knowledge. That's as far as you can go about making the Substance Painter file smaller. However, if you have a handy program like 7-Zip, which if you're not using 7-Zip, you really should be, or at least WinRAR, but 7-Zip's better. Sorry, WinRAR guys. I just like 7-Zip better. It's a higher compression. I'm going to go over here to Add to Archive with that file selected. Hit 7-Zip up here at the top, LZMA2 for the compression method, compression level, set that to 9, the maximum ultra, and for dictionary size, we're going to set it to the closest value to 96 that we have. Always go greater, or technically, since we have a 96 option, we could go for this 96, but I always like to go one greater than what my file size is, as long as I have the amount of RAM necessary. And then we'll just say number of CPU threads to use. We'll just leave it as 3 because it's not going to take that long. Everything else leave default. Click OK, and that's going to zip that up. And these files do compress down quite a decent bit. And there you have it. After 7-Zip does its magic, and we have this project archived now, we can see that we got it down to a final size of 64 megabytes, which that is, as far as I'm aware, as good as you're going to get it. So once you're done with your Substance Painter projects, do all that, and you'll be using the minimal amount of drive space possible. But before we cut off this tutorial, let's talk about one more important thing, and that is if you ever come back to this project and need to basically reactivate it, there's just a couple of simple steps you need to do. So let's cover that real quick. Okay, we're loaded back in here. Let's get this drug out over there. We're going to go back down here at the bottom, just like if we were creating a new project. We're going to say Mesh Maps. Go ahead and set your output size that you want. Yeah, this should be unchanged from what you had previously. So if you're happy with your settings previously, just go ahead and roll with that and hit Bake Material. Okay, now that that's done, we can hit OK. We'll see that all of the mesh maps we had selected before are back. If you'd like, you can go back up here and set your texture size to whatever. This is not, however, a required step unless you're exporting with the selected texture size and not setting or forcing a texture size on export. So best practice, just set that back to whatever you had. I had it on 4096. I'm going to leave it on 10 or 2048 for now. And that's pretty much it. That is all you have to do to reactivate this project. So this method for decreasing the file size is 100% non-destructive. You can go back and edit the file with just those couple of steps just to get the project reactivated and get your textures all back. So anyways, guys, thanks for following along with this tutorial. If you liked the tutorial, if it helped you out, go ahead and leave a like on the video. If you have any questions for me, drop a comment down below. And as always, guys, have a great rest of your day. Rodnut44, over and out.